Welcome back to Hack City. Joe DeLeone and Sean Anderson. Today's episode is presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Today, the most important part of this conversation is discussing the upcoming trip for the FCS football season, but we're going to also talk about some of the biggest games of the 2025 FCS season that you need to know. Sean just got back from Ireland, so we are locked in and ready to ramp up for the start of the season as week 0 is right around the corner. Now, I alluded to this for those maybe wondering what the heck I'm talking about. I think most of our listeners are familiar with the yearly tradition where we pick a random FCS football, or no, sorry, let me rephrase. We allow our listeners to pick a random FCS football school that we go to for a game, go through the whole experience. We've been to South Dakota State twice. We've been to Montana. We've been to Campbell. And this year, we were looking for a new school to go to the point where we told our listeners that we would not allow for schools in the last 2 years to be on the destination list. South Dakota State fans were pissed. And the voting on social media, which was tallied by engagements, likes, comments, reposts, all of those things counted as engagements towards a vote. They were so pissed, the South Dakota State fans, which we got a lot of angry DMs. They really almost sent us to Western Illinois this year. And it wasn't even, it was like a real effort this year. I was tallying the votes. I started texting Sean, we might actually be going to Macomb. I found that Macomb has one of the best party ratings in the country.
I saw you try to spin doctor it a little bit where you were like, you know what that means? Send us there. Go ahead. We'll party.
I don't know what that means. But I legitimately, it wasn't even close when I first started tallying this. Macomb was up by like 200 at one point. But Idaho has prevailed. We're going to the University of Idaho. Quick shout out to the 35 different schools that were voted on during this process. Idaho is the trip. Rack is a true hero, and so is his alter ego, Chris Hammond.
That's right.
Ed Chester, all these guys. Shout out to these guys. I'm excited to meet all of them because they've been listeners for a long time. I didn't think they were going to show up. I thought we were going to Western Illinois, and then suddenly, out of the woodwork comes Rack.
I was sitting in the Temple Bar area, enjoying a couple points.
Were you in Temple Bar?
Yeah, and the tweets started rolling in, and my phone was just going off, and I just kept seeing W Illinois, and it's nobody with purple in their logo. It's a lot of blue and yellow, and it's a lot of Jamie Williams. It's a lot of these people that were trying to hijack the trip is not meant to be hijacked because of a disgruntled fandom. It's about rallying the troops.
We obviously love you guys. You guys are a bunch of sick MFers trying to do this again.
I like the calls. We were still getting calls for Houston Christian. One I saw that popped up a lot for me was the Prairie View A&M contingency. Every year we've done this has been loud.
They came in fifth.
I'll keep on, I'll stick with it. They're good. They're really good online.
The Western Illinois bit was derailed by a lack of communication from the FCS Fan Nation contingent because Dustin Helton decided to go rogue and pitch Presbyterian. By the way, I'm telling you right now, Presbyterian's worse than Western Illinois. If you guys actually were creative enough, and I don't want to hear from the South Dakota State, but I know somebody went there and played football there. There ain't shit or fuck going on at Presbyterian. And it would have been at least it's kind of flyable to Macomb. It's like you got to fly and then drive 4 hours. We would have been in a blender, absolute blender if we had to go to Presbyterian. But these guys, because they were disjointed, it hurt their chances. Shout out to the Kibbe Dome. That was the big separator because their post got over 100 votes because over 100 people liked their quote tweet.
Excited to be entering the Kibbe Dome this upcoming fall, to get within those hallowed walls, those liminal spaces. I expect to leave the Kibbe Dome a little bit haunted. I expect there to be
some disappear.
Some spirits tailing along back on the way home. I'm fired up for it. I thought I saw this. Can you confirm this? I thought I saw a message or a tweet from Rack saying that he was going to, unveil his government name throughout this entire.
So he DM'd me separately, and from my understanding, we will get to meet him. And
Wow.
I'm gonna be very upset if I don't. We almost met him last year, by the way. We almost met him last year when he was when we first moved in. He apparently was near New York City. He almost met us up for a drink, but we couldn't make it happen because it was like a Tuesday in the middle of the week.
Mm-hmm.
He better freaking be there after the effort. He was showing me DM conversations that he's having with he's telling me all these people. I'm not gonna air them out, but he's like, yeah, I talked to this guy, that guy.
He was boots on the ground.
I'm getting DMs from these people that he's not like random no-name fans, like people part of the administration. I'm like, why? I think he's the president of the university.
Dude,
I think that's what this is.
We can't start that. We can't start that.
I think because Rack's the president of the University of Idaho.
We've already had a couple Idaho people say, I need to take a couple steps back because the narratives you guys are starting are sticking in my real life. So Hammond, Crispy Hammond was like, hey, people are coming up to me at tailgates, calling me Rack, and I don't think he enjoyed it. Here's what I'll say. No surrogates. You can't just say, you can't send somebody. Because here's what teach you something real quick.
It's going to be a 14-year-old.
So MF Doom, while he was alive at concerts, he would send fake MF Dooms on stage, and because he was the villain and he liked playing that role. So there would just be a guy that kind of looked like MF Doom, but it wasn't really him. It's the real you or it's nothing, Rack. We're not dealing with a fake Rack there.
Rack, here's my pitch to you so that your identity does not need to come out to the rest of the Idaho fan base. We don't want that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So meet us when we first get there at the hotel, just the three of us.
We'll get in your car like we've done with every other listener that we've
I don't know how we even died. I don't know how we even died. No, just meet us at the hotel. We will meet you, and then we will discuss at the time a way to avoid getting in the. I'm sure that you, outside of your Rack persona, are well known enough that people are going to just be like, oh, that's cool. You met so-and-so.
Uh-huh.
We will not be stupid and be like, hey guys, we met Rack.
Right.
We're not going to air you out. But that's the thing that I'm the most excited for.
This is going to be a big moment. This is a huge moment. If you're a longtime listener of the show,
yeah,
I had been under the impression that I would never meet this guy. And there were times where I'm sitting, do I want to meet him?
Happen. I knew it was going to happen.
And I guess now it will happen, and we'll see if we. Okay, it's a joke here. Imagine if it's Chris. Imagine if it's Chris that shows up to that hotel.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. I really don't.
I think it's the president of the university.
Oh, that'd be great. You know what? Also, I feel like what is it? Ryan Center Wi-Fi. I think that was the most votes we had for Rhode Island so far.
Dude,
ever.
that guy's awesome, by the way. Shout out to that guy. I've been having some fun engagements back and forth. That kid rocks.
He's solid, real solid.
He's either 19 or he's 50. I have no idea.
I tell you what, he's at least tracking. At least somebody from there is given somewhat of an attention here.
Me and him engage with one another. Half of his posts are some random URI burner account. The Rack version of URI. Most of his posts are him just finding random URI vintage shit on eBay. And posting. Oh, it's sick.
That's
He's got his great account. But regardless, so we're excited. The one thing I got to point out, the SDSU guys, if you had the real sense of humor, and this was just brought up in one of the group chats that we're in with the South Dakota State folks. Let me double check who said it. Alex Kenkel was the one who brought it up. If you guys had a sense of humor and also were smart in fucking with us, you would have sent us to South Dakota. And they came in fourth. They came in fourth. Lamar, by the way, shout out to the Lamar football account. Who
big Blake push for them.
Came in third, but they were separated by a large margin, so they weren't really that close. South Dakota wasn't that far off. It would have been more of a funny bit, I would argue, if we told you guys, hey, we're not coming anywhere near you guys, and then we just had to show up to tailgate South Dakota State, South Dakota. That would have
been a good game. That would have been the kind of like they should have done that. That would have been a win-win for everybody.
Oh, that would have been funnier because we would have been like, okay, cool. We can't avoid you guys.
Yeah. You thought you could have what? Yeah. Why were they not synchronizing a South Dakota State game that just wasn't in South Dakota State?
I think they wanted to torture us. I think that's what it was. We love
you guys. Are sick bastards. You're sick. Do you know that the back of neck sweat that I had when Joe sent that text? They might really do it to us. That was not fun. It was like lagoons under the armpits. My back was drenched. I was sitting here like, I'm going to Macomb? No bueno.
The game that we're going to be doing, we will announce soon. I think we should probably pick that this week because we waited too long last year. Leaning towards the UC Davis or Sac State game. Those are the two top priority games. We're going to look at the FBS schedule and pick just which week is like lighter for big games so that we know we're not really missing anything from the FBS side of things, because this is a far ass trip that we gotta make all the way out there. But more to be announced. Idaho fans, we will see you out there. We're excited for the many beers and wonderful nights. Probably going to come out there earlier than in the past because a little less limitations for work related stuff. So we're going to try and come out Thursday, leave Sunday night. Stay tuned. Let's talk about, though, Sean, biggest FCS games of the 2025 season. I went through a couple different articles of folks that were detailing this and some people, and I also just went through the schedules. This is the list of games. I got a couple that I want to like rip off in a couple different tiers, or not tiers, but just groupings. This is in no particular order, but these are the ones that I'm like, oh shit, these are going to shape the season. One, this South Dakota State at Montana State game on September 6th. It's going to be nutso. Marker game is easy to bring up between North Dakota State and South Dakota State. It is always going to be in the conversation for its importance. There's this game in week 0. That's the other one that I have to play into the mix of this. UC Davis versus Mercer played in Montgomery, Alabama, week 0. That's an awfully random one.
Mm-hmm.
That one to me has a lot of intrigue because I want to know which of these two teams coming off of their tremendous seasons last year is going to be ready to compete. And then the last one, a part of this, we know that the brawl game, Montana State versus Montana at the end of the year, is so significant. The one thing, by the way, Montana State fans, I thought you guys had more weight when it came to our listenership. That wasn't the case.
Look, I see. Oh,
God, we're both right now. You for a very different reason. I'm sick.
It seems like when the big strong Sean Anderson is putting Montana State number 1 at the preseason polls, they like getting loud. But when I put them at a reasonable listing, that they sour on me. I want to see I'd love to see Montana State, and I'm super juiced to see that MSU SDSU game because I want to see Montana State in this new era post Malott. I want to see what they decide to act, if they're can bang with the big boys. I want to see what South Dakota State looks like with a lot of their big boys leaving. So early September, it's going to be a lot of feel it out, and then I'm going to start ringing the bell hard after that. It's going to be 4 weeks of feel out because there's been so much turnover that I know I haven't come into the season just, all fired up about one team, this or that. There's a lot to be shaken out, but I'm glad that we have a big one to start on the 6th. That's going to be a monster. That is going to be a monster. I'm excited to see a lot of Incarnate Word this year. They excite me. I want to track them heavy because they're doing something right there. They keep on turning dudes out that ended up being really, really good players, and I think they're going to be exciting. And their matchup versus Abilene Christian will be a doozy. I think seeing if Mercer has a drop-off in Montgomery for the Montgomery Brawl too, that'll be really interesting because Mercer is a team that had a great defense, got away with one last year in the playoffs, and we're going to see if they can keep it up and maybe become a real lead in their conference.
Right. And those are obviously a lot of those Midwestern programs. North Dakota at Montana this year. There's a lot of – I give so much credit, by the way, to this. This is the thing that really stood out to me. This year, it feels like it's some of the most creative and aggressive scheduling that I've seen. I think that a lot of people realize, or a lot of the people around the athletic departments of these schools realize, there is significant value in when you schedule a South Dakota State versus North Dakota State. Or sorry, a South Dakota State versus a Montana State. And when you schedule a game like North Dakota at Montana, those games will get put on ESPN2 late at night. Those games will get primetime billing because they're big brands that people want to watch. Now, North Dakota's not as big of a brand as some of these other schools, but I'm hoping that North Dakota at Montana game is an ESPN2 game and I get to watch it after a long day of watching football. I didn't check what the time of kickoff was for that, but more of those games are going to help the FCS continue to make money and to still remain in this very unique, eclectic role in the minds of the true fans of college football.
You called it creative. It's chaotic for the pollsters that have to, kind of start stacking them up around week 8, week 9, and then everyone's beaten. Last year was so miserable because everyone had these creative schedules, and you're weighing and weighing and weighing, and you just end up having a long, crazy flow chart.
The problem is they end up all beating each other.
Yeah.
But it's unlike the FBS where it's this bullshit where you got Indiana dropping all their P4 games. You're actually seeing deliberate attention to, we're not going to schedule the Division II team. That doesn't do anything for us. They want to play the big brands. It actually builds a resume instead of just dilly-dallying, dicking around.
You know what? I'm being lazy. I'm being a whining crybaby about the thought of having to do, a hard poll in week 9. Pardon me. I stepped off on a plane, put my headphones on.
Information available.
Joe said, "You're not sitting down today. You are going right to that recording studio, and you are going." So that's what we're rolling with.
Yeah, put your dumb ass to work.
I'm trying to be a little soft, but I'm not going to allow myself here.
Speaking of creative scheduling, apparently our comments have been in the ears of those across the college football landscape in terms of the Grimace Conference, because there has been some cross-conference pollination between these Grimace team schools. I think that we are embedded. I really think that we are. I think that people have been listening. Like, what do you mean that we can just go around scheduling purple games?
Do it. Do it as much as possible.
And again, they all should be playing neutral site at Central Arkansas, but that's not going to happen. But we have Tarleton versus ACU. We have SFA at ACU. There was another one that I didn't write down that was a great one. And then ACU versus Incarnate Word. That one's not purple on purple, but it's at least a purple powerhouse battling another team.
You think there's people that are hearing it that think Grimace Conference and they're not thinking about the fast food mascot, and it's just like because Grimace Conference, that's a hard name. Grimace is a strong word.
Well, they should be thinking about the fast food mascot.
I know. That's what I want them to be doing. But if we could almost kind of do a bait and switch with them and just, this kind of just happened accidentally. And then we really latch on to the fast food mascot bit, that works for me. I'm excited to. Are we doing a weekly Grimace Conference update, or are we doing just
sure.
Okay, gotcha. It might have to be like once every 2 weeks we check in on who would be leading the Grimace Conference.
We need to. That's actually a good point. We need to prepare that. We need to.
You know what? No, we're doing let's do a fake conference this year. I'll track the fake conference all year.
That's a good point.
And you all will see a full Grimace Conference standings. That will be very confusing, especially when that's being coupled with legitimate top 25 votes reacting to a fake and building a fake conference out. But yeah, we'll try to not blur the lines too much.
We will be in the hearts of Grimace Conference fans. Just got to give us some time. A couple of just quick 4 games that caught my attention for FCS versus FBS upsets. These are the 4 that I think are the most likely. SIU versus Purdue. Purdue, absolute dog ass. I know SIU's coming off of a rough season where they got a ton of injuries. I think that they're one of the better programs this year. Incarnate Word versus UTSA. Go get those Roadrunners. This Incarnate Word team is loaded. Our Rhody Rams I think that they're going to beat this crap ass Western Michigan team. No one cares about them. Lastly, Sac State versus Nevada. I love this one. I think that Nevada is a tanking program. They're Garbo. They've been on the downturn, and they keep losing all their best players. This Sac State team wants to prove a point. I wouldn't be shocked if we don't get like a South Dakota State versus Colorado State type of high-scoring victory for the Sac State team. That one I want to double check if that's like a Friday game or something, but I'm watching that one.
Yeah. Sac State just 2 years removed from a massive upset against Stanford. So we know they have that build. Nevada, awful. I'll bash Nevada for a minute. Lost to Idaho in 23, Incarnate Word in 22. They're probably losing the Sac. Like, this is the one, if you're sitting here looking and putting money on an FCS upset, it's Nevada losing to another FCS team. This is the one. URI, I know that URI has kept it close and we kept it real close to Central Michigan. We lost to Ohio U. That one was a bit of a bad score. But I think that they can really hang this year against Western Michigan. I can't believe you're that down on Purdue this year that you're thinking that the Salukes are just going to walk them down.
They added a guy who gave away his team's signals to the opponent. They added that Memphis guy who did that to his team against UTSA. You know what I'm talking about?
Through the DMs?
Yeah.
Oh,
They added that guy to the roster. This team's gonna be bad this year, dude. It is. They might win a couple more games. They're gonna be better than last year, but they're gonna still be just a mess.
I love when you start bashing these bad teams because
try, please. You had Drew Brees. You were once a really good football program.
You saw they redesigned the logo for that idiot Drew Brees at Purdue, where they made it his throwing motion with his stupid tiny hand out forward and his stupid other tiny hand cocking a football.
I'd like to believe it was a little nubbed hand.
Stupid Drew Brees.
Wait, before we get out of here, what do you think of the Keydets kangaroo?
I kind of, you know what? I kind of like the kangaroo.
It looks like an e-sport mascot.
Yeah, but also it's the Virginia Military Institute.
There's a lot of kangaroos in Virginia.
Yo, I played a baseball tournament at VMI. I hit a home run in front of my dad, and it was trotting around the longest, slowest home run trot ever. But at VMI, I didn't know, what are we doing with a kangaroo at a military institute academy? Name yourself the VMI. I don't know what would be brutal. What's a brutal name for a military? And VMI assassins, something like that, or just Keydets, and don't have a stupid ass kangaroo like we're watching Kangaroo Jack. What is that? Kangaroos aren't. As someone who has been told that they would lose a fight to a kangaroo before, I'm still retaining the idea that I could beat the hell out of a kangaroo. And it's gonna be tough for me to respect mascots that I could beat in a fight.
I'm trying to. They don't even have an online bookstore. Do they not have an online bookstore?
I think Blake told me I couldn't beat a kangaroo in a fight.
That was Blake.
He also thought I couldn't beat an ostrich. I'm taking them both out.
You tell me I can't buy this stupid esports kangaroo? I can't buy it. What the fuck? Bunch of bullshit. All right, if you're gonna make a stupid, goofy logo, at least
you gotta be ready to sell it. There's sickos out here that want to ironically wear that.
Dumbasses. How do you could have funded your program for the next decade? I would have bought 3 shirts. I can't find it anywhere. Wait. Oh no, you can buy it.
Where are you getting to? Oh, somewhere.
I'm bashing them for no reason. We got to get off here at 1 second, but well, first of all, this is awful. That's awful.
Oh,
that's awful. Wait,
that's bad merch.
I'm not.
That's rough.
I'm only seeing one shirt with the stupid kangaroo.
What's that one look like?
It's $42.
$42?
Should I buy it?
I hate that the kangaroo kind of looks like a cadet, like he's a cadet also, where he's got a high top, like a crispy military cut on top of him.
$75.
$75 for a VMI shirt?
I don't see any others.
Ugh.
I can get this quiet.
I'm paying $75 for a VMI.
See, I wish we got sent to VMI with those guys. They got some votes by this hat.
Riverboat Joe over here.
With the ugly ass, stupid jersey.
There's somebody that's pairing those. I don't want to make fun of people. But
with the stupid shorts.
Oh, those are
Could
bad.
have gotten the worst.
Get good gear, people. If you're an athletic department,
put it on a watch list if you showed up in that outfit.
Really, really emphasize having good gear for your school. It matters. It really does, because you don't want to be walking. Even the retro stuff. You don't want to be walking around looking at your school and it's just a bad champion T-shirt that's just block lettering. Give us something swaggy that we want to wear, because college football is still in, and you got cool logos and you got cool names. So make something with it. Stop jerking us around with $72 pad T-shirts, please.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later. At Joe DeLeone, at Sanderson Radio, at Hex City Pod. Hopefully my voice is back sometime soon. Thanks for everyone who listened to this. We'll be at Idaho. We'll talk to you guys later.